All right, it looks like we are live. Kate stepped away. She'll be back momentarily. But I don't know exactly what we're planning to do on this stream. Doesn't look like anybody is here yet, so I will hold off for just a moment. I'm gonna continue eating. All right, now it looks like somebody's here. So I didn't really start talking too much, but I'm just mentioning that I don't know what this stream is exactly going to be. We may do some sprints of some sort, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. But whatever the case, it should be fun. If we just end up chatting for a little bit, that's all right too.
Hello.
Well, there's nobody here. Oh, there's one person here now. But are you actually wanting to try and write?
No, I probably won't write just because I don't want the camera to be that close to my face while I'm writing.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I think shutting the camera off defeats the purpose of a live stream. So.
Yep, a little bit. So we might just chat then.
I will we can chat or I'll read or I'll sketch. So.
Yeah, that works. If people pop in, then we can start talking. I haven't finished eating yet, so I'll probably continue eating a little bit as we go.
In front of us all? How rude!
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what it is. There's not very many people on. Oh, I should mention it on Instagram, or not Insta, on...
You shouldn't mention it on Instagram, though.
I'm not good at that stuff.
Okay, well, then give me 5 seconds and I'll do it.
I will put it on the Discord. That's the one that I'm looking for.
Did we advertise, or does the name of our live stream say what we're doing in it that we need to fulfill?
It says chatting and maybe sprinting.
Okay.
I guess we could maybe do some discussion about last year a little bit while we're just sitting here. I was thinking about that, and I don't know where it was at, but we did a tag or something at one point.
Okay, I think
That's not weird at all, but okay.
Well, it's got my whole closet in the background, so we're gonna do a screen chat again, like we did yesterday.
Yeah.
It was a nice thought, but I don't want them to see how the sheer number of sweaters and jackets I own. So.
Yeah. Anyways, I was totally not weird, JR. Appreciate it. Anyways, I was thinking, since you're cutting in and out pretty bad, is your internet okay? I know we're on the same internet, but
is your internet okay?
Mine seems to be working all right.
Mine seems to be working on my end.
Let me listen to the video and see what's going on.
Okay. Tell me when I need to talk, although usually the talking and the live stream is a little bit delayed. So. Okay. Putting this up.
Actually, it sounds all right. We sound okay.
Okay.
So I think we'll just keep going for it. So what was I saying? Last year, reading, we did at some point a tag or something where it had questions about like our favorite new character that we found or stuff like that. So thinking maybe we could think about some of those answers, see if we have
One thing. Sorry, just raise a finger when you're done with your sentence and I'll start talking. We have to be like the news people and wait like 20 seconds
Back to
before
you.
you respond. Yeah. Oh, one thing I didn't mention in my goals video, the goals wrap up, which I don't think we've posted yet, but we filmed it recently, is that I had a goal which I didn't announce last year because I don't think I'd recognized it yet when we filmed the 2022 reading goals video. And it was to read all of the Lord of the Rings in that year, and I did that this year. Or in 2022, I read all of the Lord of the Rings. And not The Hobbit. I didn't include The Hobbit in that, but yeah. So that's a goal that wasn't mentioned.
Cool. So the goals video, I'm almost finished editing that one. That one's going up on Thursday. That's our Thursday video for this week. Next Monday, I think, is going to be a review for Deathless Beast by Andrew D. Meredith. I believe that's what I have scheduled. If not, then you'll get whatever video is actually scheduled. But part of why we're doing this live stream today is because this is my last day off before I go back to work, and so hopefully you can. Ethan from Cradle was JR's favorite character from this year. That's cool. I haven't started Cradle yet. I suspect I probably will at some point, just see what I've heard so many people say so many great things about it, especially after the first couple of books. From what I've heard, the first couple of books are fairly short, and so I probably will eventually just read them or something if I ever need to. I think a favorite character, probably my favorite character, or at least favorite character might be the dad from Something Wicked This Way Comes. But most relatable character to me would be Recorder from Recorder by Kathy McCrum, I think.
Mm-hmm. Most impressionable character for me would be the boy in Catcher in the Rye, whose name I'm blanking on, but I have the book here, so let me see if it's easy to find.
I meant to throw this up on other Discords as well.
But Catcher in the Rye was a very impressionable book, and I thought the character was, I don't know, not specifically relatable, but he was very interesting to follow, and his thought process, I thought, was unique. I hate that I don't know his name.
All the books are really short. 300 pages after book 3, it takes off. Yeah. 300 pages, especially on audiobook, I can do 300 pages easily enough. If it was physically, that would be probably my entire month of reading, just because how slow I am. Hopefully I can start picking that back up and get more physical reading done coming soon. But we will see. I'm not sure how much reading I'll be able to do on Thursdays. Thursday is going to be a pretty long, busy day. But
this week?
Usually not this week, no, but in general going forward. Usually Mondays and or Tuesdays I'm editing. Wednesdays we got church. Thursday will be busy, so I might be able to read on Friday, except that sometimes I like to watch movies, and so it'll be Thursday or Friday will be a movie night or a book reading night, and I'm not sure which yet. It'll just depend. And then Saturday, it's who knows what happens with Saturdays. So. Can't find his name. Google it.
Yeah, I'd probably
What's
better luck Googling it. It's from first person, so
Yeah.
I know it's gotta be like in the first chapter. That's usually when they introduce the name, but I don't know.
Holden? Is it
Sure,
Holden?
sure. That sounds.
I have not.
No memory.
I just Googled it, and that's what SparkNotes says.
Yeah, that's probably right.
16-year-old junior who has been expelled for academic failure from a school called.
Princey.
Anyways, to answer JR's comment here, no, I haven't watched it yet. I'd like to. I think we're planning on, I don't know, we're waiting for my brother to get back to just go and see it. So it might be towards the end of January, if at all. So we'll see what happens with that one, but I'd like to go watch it. I'm actually one of those people who's not I watched the first one and I enjoy aspects of it, but I don't think it's like the greatest movie of all time. So I'm excited to see what they do with the second one. That's what I'm hearing. Is that a lot of people think it's better than the first one. So if that's the case and I enjoy it more, then that'll be great. But
I've been hearing about how long has the second one been out or in theaters?
about half a month, 2-3 weeks.
Honestly, I thought it was the third one. That's how aware I am of the movies. But I did watch the first one.
I think the plan is 2024 for the third one, and then 2026, and then 2028. And that should end them all, hopefully. I don't know. Oh, new comment. Strange. Hey, I've heard it's better than the first one as well, but haven't seen it either. Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Thanks for joining. We're just sitting here chatting for a little bit. If we decide to do something, I might read. We might not. I don't really know what's going to happen, but figured might as well have fun on my last night before I go back to work.
Very exciting last hurrah here.
Yeah, we're pretty exciting people.
In general. Mm-hmm.
The energy of this stream is about normal for us. We just sit there and do nothing.
There's actually more talking than is normal, I think.
Probably, yeah.
Well, may I speak?
You may.
You may. I went to Barnes & Noble today, and I got a sketchbook, which I'm excited about, because this is my favorite painting. And my other sketchbook was almost full. I don't sketch a lot, but it was almost full, and it was on sale. And then I also got this book, just because I keep seeing the cover, and it looked really interesting. It's called Snow Country by Yasunari Kawabata. And I may have, but it looked really pretty. Has anyone read that before or heard anything about it? I just picked it up because of the cover.
That, I assume that's a memoir, or is it what do you know what it is about?
I didn't even read the back.
Let's Goodreads it. What's it called again?
Snow Country.
JR says he hasn't read it.
Maybe I should have read the back before I read it. It looks like a romance.
It's written by a male author.
That's nice. I don't see how that affects anything. Hot tea.
Chronicling the course of a doomed romance.
Oh, well, that's better. Tragedies. Is it like a tragedy? Yeah, that's nice.
I don't have any. Nice. Wow. Uh-huh. Well, I feel like we're really boring and feel like we should do something. Is there anything that we should talk about regarding last year's
Do
reading
you
that
have
we did?
questions?
Trying to think, do we have a... We talked about our favorite books. That video won't come out for... When will that video come out? When am I planning that video to come out? Favorite top 10 books of 2022 is Thursday the 12th. So,
Top 10 books.
yeah.
But here's the spoiler, it's actually 11.
This is true. Let's see. I'm going to start my first read of Lord of the Rings next month. Good. Wonderful. Yes. Do it. Kate finished that this year. Or last year, I guess. Heyo, Liam. He popped in too. Heyo. Or hello.
Heyo.
And yeah, Lord of the Rings, I've talked about it, but Lord of the Rings is my favorite, and Tolkien's my favorite. So I'm excited for other people to start reading it. I think Tori said she's going to try and read it this year too sometime from Tori Talks. So I'm starting my reread of it this month. Who knows when I'll get to that. I've got to listen to Sanderson's Secret Novel 1, and I've got to listen to Rune Lord's Book 2, and I've got to listen to Simulated by Nova McPhee. And is there another book that I have to listen to? I think it's just those three before I can listen to Lord of the Rings. So Lord of the Rings will be towards the latter half of the month, probably, by the time I get started on it. And I'll just do Fellowship. I might go through and do it all. Always heard it's a hard read. Kate, what do you think? Was it terribly difficult read?
I listened to it on audiobook, and that was the perfect way for me to digest it. I think it was really great on audiobook. Andy Serkis was narrating, so that was fun. I think it could be considered more difficult prose, or just that was part of why I stopped reading it in the first place when I first started it several years ago, is because the way Tolkien's writing style is very extensive. I don't know how else to explain it, but he goes on and on about things. And there's a lot of space between his action and the story. And the action is very intriguing and fun to read about, but it's kind of the in-between spot that it's really easy to zone out during. So the audiobook was great because it just kept a consistent pace for me, and I could listen to it while I was working or whatever.
I haven't found it to be a terribly difficult read. It is more challenging, I guess, than a lot of other books, a lot of other modern authors. But I'm fairly used to that older style of modern English, so it didn't bother me in the least to read it. And I read it, I think the first time I read it, I was 12 or 13.
Yeah, it's definitely doable.
Liam says it's very mythical, archaic in some language, and almost medieval in style. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He also says it's way easier to read than some other things. I would agree with that. I think there's. I'd actually say it's easier to read than Robert Jordan, Wheel of Time. I feel part of that is I feel like Robert Jordan is not as good of a wordsmith as Tolkien was. The way that he formats his sentences to flow and to just read prettily. I feel like Jordan, at least in the 3.5 books of his that I've read, isn't that good yet.
Yeah.
Liam also says I need to do Rune Lords too as well. I think I'll do a Forgotten Realms novel first. You read lots of Forgotten Realms novels, so I don't know. Someday I'd like to maybe do Forgotten Realms. I want to get into D&D, but I don't know how. I do actually know people who play D&D, and started playing with Owen, but I played once and then I got too busy to actually make it to the games, so I haven't played since then. That was April, May maybe of last year. So It's weird that to say last year already, but it's true. Yeah, it would be fun. It's the one game that I played. It was like I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm just kind of stumbling my way through as everybody else plays and has fun, and I'm just trying to learn the ropes. But I think if I actually knew what I was doing, I could have lots of fun with it. And Owen's great, so yeah, never got into it. It's I just like it's so ingrained in pop culture at this point, especially with Stranger Things after Stranger Things. But it's just such a major part of pop culture at this point that like I feel like I know a little bit about it, but then I don't actually know anything about it or how to play it or anything like that. And I just maybe someday I'll actually start doing it. There's a D&D movie coming out, Honor Among Thieves, I think it's titled. I don't know. It looks like a fun action movie to me, action fantasy movie. Not I don't know if it's particularly D&D like or whatever, but I don't know. And now I just awkward silence creepily. Fireworks going off in the background.
Yeah, I can hear the fireworks too. That's crazy. We can hear fireworks.
Wow.
Not like
Both
we're
of us
all
at
like
the same time?
Yeah. I've been interested in D&D as well, but it does seem like a big time commitment, and I also think that I would not enjoy playing it the first time with just anyone. Like I'd want to play it with someone in particular. So.
Yeah.
Just because it's complicated. I feel like it's the type of game, I don't know, you know when you play like a board game and it's your first time playing with a bunch of people who've played before and you're going through and they're like, no, you can't do that. Or, you know, you can do this halfway through the game after you've already figured out your strategy. I feel like there'd be a lot of that. So, I don't know though.
I don't know. Perhaps we should do some sprints for a little bit, see if anybody pops on after we get back.
Okay.
I might read my book. This one, Dead Zone by Stephen King.
Okay.
I did finish the beta read book that I was trying to read last night. I think you left before it said that.
Gotcha.
But I did do that. So that's cool. All right. Well, let's see. What time is it now? 6:33. We could just. Do we want to do till the top of the hour?
Not 15, please. Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Shave and show. There we go.
Here we go.
All right. Well, I will sit and read. I don't know if he's still around, but Nico says hello. Hello, to
Hello.
Nico. Oh, I guess I should shut off this banner now. Well,
Did you read
I did read a little bit. Not much happened.
in your book or in your reading?
Both. No, I read about a chapter, or just over a chapter, but not much happened in that chapter.
Ah, I see.
So I'm still kind of waiting for the plot to actually start. Not really, but for some action, I guess.
What
Not
are
like,
any viewers here that have read The Dead Zone? What do you think of it?
yeah, that's a good question.
Because I haven't
If
read it
anybody has
yet. I've read other
read this
Stephen
one,
King books and I've never had any problems getting into them like T has with this book.
it's not so much a problem of getting into it as it is not having enough time to read a significant chunk to actually make progress in it.
Can you get the audiobook?
I could, but I don't want to.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks for stopping by, Nico. We appreciate it. Yes, I am reading The Dead Zone by Stephen King. Kate's drawing.
I am, yeah.
I don't know
I'm
what she's
probably
drawing.
going to read, but I got a new sketchbook, so I wanted to draw.
Wanted to test it out.
Yep, got to test it out. I'm drawing, I'm not going to show you guys because I'm not a good drawer, but I'm drawing Spider-Man and I'm actually having fun with it. I always draw from reference photos, and because of all the lines on his costume, it makes it easier to keep track of proportions, human proportions, because of the lines on his costume. So
yeah, I guess
that's
that makes sense.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It is.
I got to, since Nico mentioned uploading, I've got to finish editing and then upload Thursday's video, but it's pretty close to being done. I've got it all cut together and everything. I don't know how I managed to do it, but somehow I got to the point where the videos themselves, the raw footage, doesn't need to be nearly as much that needs cut out, so that helps. But then I've also cut down the time that I spend editing them, even though I put more work into them, kind of. So that's interesting that happens, but
Interesting.
it's nice. Well, let's see. So everybody, I guess, I don't know how many of you guys have put out your top 10 reads of 2022 yet, videos, or if you're going to. But because of that, I'll just ask you, what was your favorite read of December? I think that's a good question for myself. I'm going to have to look at that. I'm thinking that it was probably Something Wicked This Way Comes. But I want to look at my list again and make sure.
I think mine was Monster.
Yeah.
Frank Cruddy. Also, I realized in our video that we uploaded today, yes, that I said Frank E. Peretti, and I have no idea if that's his middle initial. I just threw that out there. But
for some reason, that's what I think it is
okay.
too.
So maybe he sometimes publishes with that middle initial. I will Google.
Yeah. So the books that I read.
Okay, not crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
That's good. Mm-hmm.
Always helps when you have cleaner footage for sure. Yeah, agreed. Especially when you don't speak with lots of ums. That's my biggest issue. So I was uploading. Yeah. All right. Have a good night, Nico.
Bye.
So I think I had Calculated and The Hobbit were both rereads. And so I don't want to choose that as a favorite read of the month. But all the other books that I read were really good. Like, December was a really good month. Broken Eye, which is Lightbringer Book 3. I think that one, I really love his world and I love his writing style. But that book itself, I think, probably wasn't my favorite. Sum of All Men, that one I was very, very happy with. I didn't know what to expect going into it, and I enjoyed it way more than I was expecting to. Otherwind, probably not my favorite, because it's not my favorite of the Earthsea books. It was good, though. So it's realistically between Sum of All Men and Something Wicked This Way Comes. I did like The Percussor's Tale, which is the short story. That one was good, but the dialogue wasn't great. And then The Green Door of Fate, which was a short story. I was looking through, I don't know if Liam's still around, but I was looking through because I've mentioned to him and I've mentioned to several people now that I am kind of compiling a list of authors who live or have lived in Alaska. And I came across that list again, checked it, and Craig Martell was already on that list. So clearly I had heard of him before, and it got me thinking, was that one that I added on there after my chat with Liam? Because I almost feel like he mentioned him. So that means that, I don't know, somebody else knew about him at least. I don't know who it was. I don't know. Someone somewhere mentioned him and that he lives in Alaska. So now I have him on the list. But anyways.
Well, are we gonna sprint together? Or do we have conversations?
Do we have? Well, there's nobody conversationing with us, so we could sprint again. But
okay.
If we want to, we've been live for an hour almost, but progress is good. I might rearrange my seating so that my seat's a little bit less uncomfortable.
I think I'm gonna have to get a blanket too, because it's cold.
Yeah.
When we're sitting still, start to freeze a little. The chill creeps into our bones.
I need a comfortable chair for reading, but I don't have one. Could just lay on my bed like I did last night for a little bit, but I don't know that I want to.
I thought my chair was really uncomfortable, but I just found out I was sitting on a pencil, so that's part of it.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Well. Oh, Liam's late. He's arrived again. Yeah.
That's all right.
Got a little inspiration, so he wrote some. Good for you. Yeah. I wanted to sit and write my reviews, get some reviews written out on this stream tonight, but then I realized that I can't really use my computer to write on at the same time as I'm streaming, so yeah, that's not going to happen. But that's all right. Also read some in Beowulf and the North before the Vikings. Interesting. I need to read Beowulf. It's too important for me not to have, and the fact that I haven't is still kind of frustrating to me. I do want to read Tolkien's translation of it sometime at some point too, even though I know that that's one of the ones that he didn't want published, because he was just like, well, this isn't that great. I was just doing it as an exercise type thing. But I want to read his translation of it, and I want to read his Monsters and Critics essay in full. And On Fairy Stories. I think I have On Fairy Stories somewhere. Maybe it might be in Tales from the Perilous Realm. I should look.
I read Beowulf, but I don't know what translation. It was for school a while ago.
It's think you read
translation you have right now, T.
I think it was this one, Frederick Rebsamen.
Yeah, that was it.
I'll probably read the Seamus Heaney one, since I've got that now too. let's see. What is in Tales from the Perilous Realm? We've got introduction by Tom Shippey. Liam loves Tom Shippey. Ah, looky there. So Shippey wrote Beowulf in the North before the Vikings. Yeah. The introduction to Tales from the Perilous Realm is written by Tom Shippey. So interesting. And then let's see. On Fairy Stories. I do have On Fairy Stories. And I have an afterword written by Alan Lee. That's cool. So Alan Lee is the illustrator. He's a very prominent Tolkien, or Liam's over here fanboying over Tom Shippey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I have On Fairy Stories, and then an afterword by Alan Lee, which does a whole bunch of illustrations for Tolkien's work. So that's super cool. I wanted to get to Tales from the Perilous Realm last year, but I didn't. I was gonna try for it in November, I think, but then I didn't read in November hardly at all. So that's what happens when you do that. I also just love this cover though. Like, look at that gorgeous dragon. He's just laying there. Let's see. Just lays there and looks at the little guy with the little sword that I think might be supposed to be Tom Bombadil. But I don't know, because I haven't read it. I want to read Rover Random. All of these. I don't know why I still haven't read that essay. I've got it in this book, but I haven't read it. I really need to. So is Leaf by Niggle. It's kind of in the same vein, but actually a story. Yeah. I don't know it was back in my early days of reading Tolkien. I read something about the process of writing Leaf by Niggle and how it was formatted and everything, and it sounds super interesting to me. Farmer Giles of Ham is on the cover. Okay, yeah, that's probably true. I haven't read it, so I don't know. He matches a little bit of the description of Tom, but that's all right. I don't know enough. I don't actually know though. I'd have to see, because the Adventures of Tom Bombadil are basically poems, all the poems, and not actually stories about Tom Bombadil. There might be a couple in there. But, so I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Bombadil at some point ran across a dragon. Wouldn't surprise me in the least. It's in this Farmer Giles pen, page 99. Let's take a peek. Go over it. Yeah, I think you're right. The very first image is of a Farmer Giles riding on a horse with a sword, and it looks like a dragon tail underneath, so I suspect that's probably who it is. Wait, he does. He's got a musket, or a, what is that called? I can't think of what, yeah, it's a gun, but this is the one that's got the big, blown out bell thingy on the end. I can't think of what it's called now. But Aegidius de Hamo was a man who lived in the midmost parts of the island of Britain. Interesting. And he had a red beard. Ham was only dog's garb. Let's see, does it say? Blunderbuss. Yeah. Oh, I already looked at all that stuff. A blunderbuss. It's not the word I was looking for, but that one is also accurate. There's another another word that's probably like an American word for it, not true word for it, and I can't think of what it is, but that's all right. Yeah. Well, we can sprint again. That's all right. Maybe Liam will get some more writing in. Hey, one day I'll read his stuff. It's just a matter of it getting published and or me finding it somehow. However that works. I might have to just like hack into his computer and read it or something. I don't know how to do that. I can't for legal purposes. I don't know how to do that, and I can't do that. So
Get yourself into trouble there.
all right, let's do sprint again. How about another half hour?
Okay.
Or 33 minutes, I guess.
Okay.
Let me hit this to 50. All right.
We're back.
We are back. Let's see. Kim's Cozy Read says, howdy. Getting some reading done on a Singaporean cozy mystery right now. And then this reminded me I should try to write some tomorrow, though. Y'all got writing projects going?
Yes, I have a novel that's 27,000 words in, which I would have written during this for the sprint, except like T mentioned earlier today, the computer that we're live streaming on is also the computer we write on our projects on. So you guys would have a very up the nose angle. So didn't figure that was ideal.
Yeah. I have a writing, I've got a writing project. I'm trying to write a script for a TV series and failing very bad at it at the moment, but I have ideas and I need to write them. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's my writing project. And then Books at Midnight says, greetings. I just realized you two are streaming, joining in for a bit. Thanks for joining.
Hello.
So, I guess I should drop the banner again. I always forget to do that. I'm not very good at streaming. But how much did I actually get through? Chapter and a half, maybe? Did I actually get through that? Or did I just start into? Let's see. Pretty good. Only about half a chapter, I take it.
I think I read
Very long chapter. You read 3?
I think so.
Very long chapter. I'm not quite halfway through the chapter yet. That's how thick the chapter is. So, about 50 pages.
Yeah.
60 pages. So
It's a long chapter.
it's a long chapter. Probably won't finish that tonight. I might, though. I don't know. I might continue reading after we end the stream. I'm not sure yet, though. We will see what happens.
I don't think I told anyone today. I'm reading Secrets in the Mist still, which is what I was reading yesterday when we streamed by Morgan L. Husay or Bus, however pronounced.
You should find out. Read the back. Maybe she says it how to pronounce it.
No. I mean, I can probably find out, but not in the books. I'll have to end the book.
All right. I don't know how often we'll do these. I had time yesterday and today because I'm off work, but work starts again tomorrow, and I don't know when I'll have time to do any more in the future. So I can't say how often we'll doing them. I wouldn't mind doing more of them in the future, but I don't know how often it'll be.
Yeah. Same for me. I'm off work, so we had more time than we normally do, and we don't always have coordinating times off of work that we're not busy.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. I'm going to try and be more actively doing some sort of live stream, though, whether it's discussions with other people or authors or going through some of the books in my collection or something like that, or I don't know. But I will try to have more lives and maybe sprints like this. We do have a Discord server, and I should set it up to send notifications, but I don't think about that. I really don't. Yeah, we could do them with community notes, and I'm so used to not having the community notes that they they just changed that a couple months ago so that people with less than 500 subscribers could have access to it. And I for so long didn't have access to it that I don't even think about it now. But yeah, we could be better about notifying people. We didn't really have a plan for this one until about 3 o'clock. We said, okay, let's do it. So.
We should set up a tag on Discord on our server for people who want to be notified.
Yeah, I mean, we should just tag the Sprinter anytime we're.
Yeah.
That would help.
But we're not always, I don't know, we're not always doing sprints, so we need like a live stream. And you can tag whatever you need for the live. That would be relevant for the live stream.
Yep, that would work. And there is an events tab up at the very top. I have one for studying, and I have a bot so people can sign up for it, so people can opt in and out for it. Yeah, I haven't set up any bots in our Discord server yet. I probably could, but it's small enough that we don't really need anything at the moment. We could use them, but we don't really need anything.
Right, which also the tag would be effective for. We would give them the tag, and then we just tag that tag, and only the people with it would be notified.
Mm-hmm. We could just, I don't know, I might just set that up. I might have to set something like that up. Set it up for anybody who wants to be notified for the link to our Discord server should be in the description for any of our other videos. I haven't put it into this live streams yet. I could go do that, but it should be everywhere in any of our recorded, edited videos. I don't know if it's in our About page or not. I'd have to look at that.
I don't think it is, at least.
I don't think it is either.
So.
We try and keep our About short. Let's see. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'll have to look into more of that and see what I can get figured out in terms of setting something up like that on the Discord, because that would be, especially if I actually get more active in doing lives, that would be a useful thing to have for sure.
Yeah. But
thank you, and Happy New Year to you as well.
Well, I think that I am going to have to duck out because I need to get ready for work tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's a good time for me to call it as well. It's that not quite 2 hours, but I got some reading in, and you got some reading in, so that's the main goal of these is to do something. We got to chat a little bit with some people, and that's good. Thank you guys for joining. I don't really need to say anything. I guess I can say we post videos every Monday and Thursday. But as for lives, I don't know when we don't really have a schedule for lives. They'll just be whenever we decide to do one at this point. So.
Yeah.
You too. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it.
All right. We will see you all next time.
All right. Stay warm.